Hello everyone, this is Yinan. I'm one of Raja Supreme Masters of Maitreya Cosmology. Today, I have invited Master Tizhi to share his own experience.
Hello everyone, and thank you for inviting me today here.
You're welcome. We are told by Namo Exalting Emperor Maitreya, Mr. Jiulongmazu. Mr. Jiulongmazu is the founder of Maitreya Cosmology and is also the future world's religious leader. Okay, let's start with Maitreya Cosmology slogan. 宇宙弥勒皇教，皇天无极，后土为证，龙颜凤地，化育如来。Today's subject is Buddha's great hand. Let me have a brief introduction about Buddha's great hand. Buddha's great hand requires two people. One is a performer and another is a receiver. It's called Buddha's great hand because the performer usually uses the hand, which is very sensitive during a session, and is just like a sensor to detect which part of the receiver's body has negative energy and can be purified. Sometimes the performer is guided by intuition or what is seen through the third eye to locate the problems in the receiver's aura. Typically, they are usually at the head, chest, and spine. That may cause the receiver have headache, chest tightness, and a spinal pain. During a session, the performer can receive the guidance and divine energy from deities to purify the receiver's aura. This is the reason the word Buddha to appear in Buddha's right hand. Before a session, the performer has to respectfully ask for the guidance and protection from deities, especially Namo Exalting Emperor Maitreya and Namo Exalting Emperor Maitreya Guanyin and the performer's Fasen. This action is very important because then the performer's soul will be protected and the receiver will be truly helped during the session. Can you tell us in which year you started to perform Buddha's right hand?
I think it was 2005, very soon after I joined Maitreya Cosmology, first learning Qigong. And actually, Buddha's great hand is very basic skill that everyone learning in Maitreya Cosmology can perform.
Okay. Can you share with us your experience as a performer during a session?
I've got used to the feeling of qi in my hand, but if I stop to think about it, then it's actually quite a peculiar feeling. The sensation can include numbness, or sometimes it's like pushing through some electric current with energy in my hand, and sometimes it can be even a painful feeling. Sometimes it seems like the hand has its own intelligence and it seeks to find by itself the problematic location in the body.
Okay. During a session, have you ever felt the energy from deities?
When performing Buddha's great hand, the feeling is like I'm basically just a media or like a pipeline for the divine energy, and I'm very clear that if there is any positive effect, then it has nothing to do with me. A little bit more advanced students of Maitreya Cosmology, they can also combine Buddha's great hand with third eye processing, and especially in the beginning this can happen very spontaneously. The first 2 times this happened was when I was giving Buddha's great hand treatment to my wife, who is also student in Maitreya Cosmology, my classmate. The first time I remember I was giving Buddha's great hand treatment, and I had this feeling that I couldn't deal with the problem. The energy just didn't go through, and the block in the body was all the time just there and didn't move away. And then suddenly my wife started to say that she feels very cold, and very soon after I also started to feel coldness, and I closed my eyes and tried to concentrate and focus more. At that point, I suddenly feel I could see kind of black snake energy in another space, and I saw my Fasen dealt with the problem, and at the same time we could also feel the coldness disappear, and it was replaced with warmness, and the problem was solved. Another time, again I felt like I couldn't push through with Qi, and I closed my eyes and asked for guidance from Maitreya Empress Guanyin, and when I closed my eyes, I suddenly had this vision or image of white Guanyin Bodhisattva, and she was like in a meditative state, like there was this feeling like she could see everything or feel everything around, and she started to have a glow. It's like her body started to glow and radiate this very warm, very wonderful energy, and it happened very smoothly and very slowly, and when this happened, then I could suddenly see the entity that was disturbing my wife starting to burn, and I could, after that I could feel the energy again goes through, and the rest of the session was very smooth.
I see. I think the metaphor about pipeline is so interesting and appropriate. According to my previous experience as a receiver, I do feel relieved and refreshed during a session. When I was a performer, I can see the receiver's face and eyes become brighter after a session. Some receivers even told me they fell asleep during a session when I was performing Buddha's Great Hand for them because they felt relieved.
I have also had such cases, and I think nowadays many people, they have big stress and they have many problems that they are not self-even aware of, and when the problem is solved, then they suddenly feel very relaxed. Often people also they describe that they feel very comfortable energy and especially warmness. Sometimes people tell me that they feel like some cold energy leaves their body.
You may not believe I have interviewed Vital Swing Master Yichen to share his first experience of being performed Buddha's Great Hand by you. Do you remember it?
Oh yeah, I remember. It was a very long time ago. I remember he was there with his whole family.
Okay, let's see his sharing.
At the first time I meet the Master teacher in the International Buddhist Exhibition in 2010. Maitreya Cosmology had published a lot of books, and he also attending the Buddhist exhibition. He also provided the Buddha's grace hand for the visit to the experience session. One day, my wife and I was visit the Buddhist exhibition, and I saw the master teacher performing the Buddha's great hand. So I decided to have the Buddha grace hand session. I remember that in the beginning of the session, the master teacher respectfully asking the guidance from the village, and I could also feel the defense of the potential energy of the heaven descending and surround me. I was thinking in my mind, wow, this religion is so amazing, because I had attended many religious assembly of esoteric Buddhists, but I never have this kind of the experience, because this is so powerful energy from the village. This is very different in other religions. Moreover, I noticed the master teacher was used the Chinese when seeking the guidance from the village. I was consider that his followers, he may be not very clear when he used the Chinese for the guidance. Nevertheless, after the finishing the Buddha grace hand, he is very powerful and useful means. So after the session, my wife and I immediately made the decision to apply the Qigong. The experience was just so incredible.
Oh, that was interesting. I didn't know that he had such strong feelings about the session at the time.
Yes, thanks for Father Supreme Master Ethan sharing. And next question is, how do you feel after performing Buddha's great hand?
I typically feel very energetic and very spirited. And then after the little bit later, especially if I didn't use third eye processing during the session, I might feel some sense of heaviness or other reminders in my body, and then I know that I need to deal with the lingering energies by meditation and maybe use third eye processing and Qigong.
I think the performer is in good spirits because the negative energy disappeared from the receiver will be converted to positive energy the performer needs. And also, the collective karma between the performer and the receiver will be released. It is a good exercise for the performer and the performer's function to strengthen their spiritual compatibilities and defense system, and then they will become stronger. And I also agree with you, spiritual purifying ourselves after performing Buddha's great hand is very important. Other than through meditation or third eye, to purify myself, I also like to practice Xindian Gong to cleanse my aura.
There are many kind of different energies attracting people, and it really requires wisdom to distinguish which of the energies are good and benevolent and which are not. There are so many so-called spiritual masters or gurus or whatever attracting followers, but we don't necessarily know what's the power behind them. What makes Maitreya Cosmology and Emperor Maitreya, Mr. Jiulongmazu, so special is that the emphasis is always to develop our own fashion and our own ability to distinguish what is good for us and life in general. And we also learn to deal with our spiritual problems, and increasingly also we can help others too. In Maitreya Cosmology, there are many excellent people beside Maitreya Emperor Mr. Xinlongchen, all trained by him and the wonderful teachers of Maitreya Cosmology. Another reason why I believe in Maitreya Cosmology, beside unique wisdom of Maitreya Emperor Mr. Xinlongchen, is that I have seen closely so many people they change to a better after joining the religion.
Yes, in Maitreya Cosmology, we do not only just beg for mercy from God the Buddha, we can strengthen our spiritual compatibility to protect our own soul under the guidance from Namo Exalting Emperor Maitreya Mr. Jiulongmazu. And performing Buddha's Great Hand is a good way to enhance our spiritual fighting abilities and defense system, and also can help others to have them spiritually purified and relieved. From today's sharing, you can see the effect of Buddha's Great Hand is so obvious that the receiver, like Eastern Vajra Supreme Master, can receive the divine energy during the session. Moreover, Buddha's Great Hand can be learned and performed by anybody. For example, the incredible and divine energy can be channeled by Master Tizhi, even though his Chinese is not very good. This is because the session is guided by deities. Master Tizhi even can see his Faxian's fighting process and the deities during the session. The world is changing rapidly, and we face various nature and man-made disasters. Our soul is immortal and is the foundation of our everything. If our soul is strengthened, our body's mind and fortune can be strengthened as well, and then we will be more capable of conquering those challenges we faced. Performing Buddha's Great Hand can strengthen our soul. So, I would like to invite you to visit Maitreya's temples like Zizhulin Temple and Guanyin Mountain Yufo Temple to experience Buddha's Great Hand as a receiver first. Maybe you will feel the miraculous power, and then you will start to believe it as well.
I do recommend the experience.
Yeah, thanks for Master Tizhi sharing today.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, that's it for today, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and share this video, and subscribe my YouTube channel if you are interested. See you next time. Bye bye.